come on in, welcome. And like the slide says, you have the power to wow, maybe even more than you know. That's right, how we cut the learning curve, get your expert platform done for you, and launch your business or idea to success. Now, when I say no. Hello, welcome. I'm Lynn Rose, and I want to welcome you here. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm a media and marketing entrepreneur. I'm an expert on high performance and also CEO of Launch You Now. And the title of this video, as you noticed, is, how we cut the learning curve, get your expert platform done for you, and launch you to success now. So welcome. It's wonderful to have you here. And if you're here, I would imagine that this may describe you. Might that be possible? You're in transition, you're reinventing, you're wanting to start your own business in some way, or you're rocking with it already, but now you're wanting to expand your brand presence and reach and up level big time, right? You may even be in your own way as you're trying to get it all figured out. And who wouldn't blame you with all that's circulating around and all the different choices and all the different directions and all the things you have to keep track of and how fast everything is changing. It's crazy. Now, one way or another though, you're like many of our clients. And think about where you are and where you want to be. So could you be any of these or someone like this? You may be, a corporate job and wanting to shift into your own business, right? To perhaps you're running your own business. Let me start the timer here, make sure I'm on time here. Perhaps you're running your own business, right? And you have that established brand or business, but you want to elevate to being top of your field, to up level, to monetize even more. Right? You want to be head of the field. And I'm doing lots of things with this new technology, as you can see. So if you see me looking down, sometimes it's because I'm handling technology, but it's so I can bring you this fun way to share with what we're all about. So you also might be, an author launching a book, and you want to leverage or monetize it. You've given your heart and soul to this book, and now you want to get it out there in the biggest way and establish yourself in this arena. You may be a speaker and you'd love to have more bookings and love to be at the top of your field there. Also, you'd love some media. You'd love to monetize it more, have some licensing to the companies that you serve, right? Or you may be as straightforward as a lawyer or financial professional or real estate or some other service-based business with you at the helm. And you give your business a boost. You want to make you the obvious choice. You want to leverage your online presence so you can draw in the clients to you, or open up media opportunities to further draw in the clients. Or perhaps you are a coach and you're going, how can I fill my coaching business? And if you don't have a coaching business already, you want to develop your own. And now, how can you monetize your following? Maybe you have a great following, but you want to know how you monetize it better, right? Oh, or you would love to finally know that you have your signature program. It's all yours. It's completely out of your own experience and out of your own insight and perspective and what it serves in your industry. And you know how that can propel you forward, but you want help in getting that situated and out there, right? And perhaps you have a following on your blog or social media, but you're not monetizing it yet. This is interesting, by the way, trying to press the forward button. There we go. But you haven't monetized it yet. Oh, that is so fun, isn't it? Let me just try that again. But you haven't monetized it yet. And then finally, let me get this down here so I can see what I'm doing here. Ta-da! Or you're already rocking it out there. And by the way, I see this at NSA, the National Speakers Association, all the time, all over the place. These brilliant speakers, and they really are top of their field as a speaker, but they're running themselves into the ground doing all the live events, and they want to get higher fees, but have that presence so that they demand the higher fees, and they also want to monetize more so they don't have to be on the road so many times a year, and they want to be able to have their own product that they license or sell or that they market online evergreen while they sleep. So maybe that's you as well, right? And on the flip side, you might have a spark of an idea, right? But now, what do you do with it? You don't have a clue how to strategize, how messaging, or what even to call it, or how to offer it, how to monetize it, how to find clients, how to market it. And even if you do that kind of thing for others, when it comes to looking at it for yourself, you get lost. And FYI, that's typical. Well, we've got that handled for you, and that's why you are here. If that or any of those apply to you or resonates with you, then you're in for a treat for this next hour. We at Launch You Now get you set up in all the ways, and that's what we are. We are Launch You Now, where leaders go to get launched. And we get your expert platform done for you. When? Not years from now, but now. Everything you need to get to top expert status and launch to success. Done with and for you. To cut out the years of learning, scattered, figuring it out yourself, inventing the wheel, reinventing the wheel, stuck in figuring it out for yourself, which, by the way, when you're inside the jar, it's so hard to see the outside of the label. You, again, like we said, you might be great at that for other people. You can so see it so well, but when it comes to yourself, you're just absolutely stuck. Well, that's what we do with Launch You Now, is we get you to clarity, we get you to plan, and actually we do this for you. Plan and build and create your ultimate vision. We take in mind, what is that you want? What impact do you want to make? What level do you want? And how do you want to be delivering that? And design the entire business around that. From what we're going to cover in just a moment, from the branding, the strategizing, and the monetizing, and the messaging, and creating the media to support it, all of it, so that you're not running around like a gerbil with your head cut off. We get this done for you. It's like a business in a box, all right? Except it's been handcrafted. Just what's right for you, not in a box, but freed from it. All right, so during this presentation, I'm going to lift the veil for you and take you behind the scenes and show you what we do for clients and what can be possible for you. All right, so take a look and see, as we show examples, as we share what we do, what could be possible for you. All right, so with a little overview here. Oh, I need to actually get there. This is a brand new technology, which I love, and love bringing this to you. But thank you for hanging in there with me. All right. So let's give you the overview. As you can see, this is all that we cover in Launch You Now: the branding, the strategy, the messaging, building your offerings, monetization, the media built and created for you, the bookings plan, and undeniable social media presence. All right. And now let's just take a quick little peek into, there we go. Branding, strategy, the messaging, and the light bulb goes off and you get that clarity. It is unbelievable what opens up for you. And it's like a clouds part and you are off and running. And you're like this magnet when you have that clarity. Clarity is king. And then, of course, when you get to know how to monetize the freedom, isn't that fun? And then we build the media to support it, or to get you onto media. That's actually me up there. I'm about to do that TV show again in about a week, actually. But to get you onto media with what you do as an expert. And a bookings plan, how you get more bookings out there. When you get to present yourself where you're the obvious choice, where it's undeniable. All the setup that you have for the expert that you are, and the media and the materials that so demonstrate it, and you don't have to work so hard. So how to get those bookings, and the undeniable social media presence. All right. And that would equal, ta-da, success. And that feeling is amazing, isn't it? So First of all, as we look at Launch You Now, and I am CEO of Launch You Now. Now, I am very much in front of the scenes, but I do Launch You Now behind the scenes to be the wind beneath the wings for my fellow experts and colleagues. But now you might look at, okay, why me? What's the story there, right? Well, I have come from the world of entertainment and media for years. In fact, all my life, I have done TV, film, even Broadway. I even produced my own radio show that was nationally syndicated. And I worked with some of the people here that you can see in the companies that you see. And there's just a little thing from the CD there. That's from the radio show. It was a radio show on personal achievement, nationally syndicated personal achievement radio station. And a network, I should say. And then I performed for huge audiences of financial professionals, direct sales, associations, you name it. And I got very lucky. It was about starting 15 years ago, that I started getting mentored by Robert Allen and Mark Victor Hansen, who you see here. By the way, I'll take myself out of this so you can see that particular event was the mega business event. That was so much fun. And they took me under their wing, and I was kind of always like the third wheel, if you will, with what they did for entrepreneurs everywhere, especially as the online world was birthed, and learned about being an online entrepreneur and marketing and what that takes, how you build your programs, how you go and get those events or those bookings or clients, how you market, how you message, handheld shown what to do. And so that is my goal there in being able to bring that to what folks need as well. So let me just show you some more here. All right, there we go. And then eventually I ended up creating my own program. So I created what you see here, the Wow Factor. And that was a program on speaking that's been around for over a decade. And I've helped train celebrities and billion-dollar CEOs and leaders in the world of transformation and personal achievement, executives, Wall Street. I did a Wow Factor for Wall Street. And also a program called The Goal Getter on getting your goals with focus, fun, and ease. Online programs, online interviews, TV shows, live streaming. And in fact, one program that I released actually recently went from 0 to 6 figures in 5 months. It was crazy. And that is possible. Now, I did work my butt off to make that happen, but I knew what to do. And that's part of what I feel brings the brilliance. Is when this is what happens when you know the exact strategy, the right strategy for exactly who you are and right where you are, what you offer, or getting that much needed clarity and creation and where you want to be. Right? So I got to play with all the big names in the industry of personal achievement, authorship, speaking, coaching, online marketing, and business success. All these different arenas that add up to this unique skill set to be the conductor for your success. And I got to be working in and among the top 1% of successes in online marketing, including being part of 2 masterminds that caters to that top 1% personal and business development marketers in the world. So I became privy to and am constantly aware of the latest and greatest resources. So what works now versus what doesn't anymore, and how to create what's right for the market and for the brand. And so one might say, okay, that's all great, but still, why are you doing this? Why aren't you just doing your own thing as an expert out there? Which I love. But here's the deal. For over 15 years, while I was in event after event after event for entrepreneurs and people wanting to be able to elevate their brand and get it out there all the more, it was breaking my heart to see people who were coming to seminar after seminar, training after training, spending thousands and thousands of dollars, and year after year they were in the same place. They weren't getting it done. They weren't moving forward. They were learning a lot. They were at least being present to a lot of learning, but it wasn't moving forward. And what I recognized is there's so much that you have to get connected and you have to make happen that it becomes overwhelming, and you sometimes then just shut down. Or you feel like you get this little piece done, but this little piece over here isn't handled. And unless you have it all playing together, then you're not going to have forward movement. And I also saw, frankly, in our industry, a lot of people taking advantage of others. And so they would charge tens of thousands of dollars and barely deliver hardly anything. And then people were in the same spot or worse, and then having spent, now having no budget to be able to move forward. And I said, we need to just have a place where it's all done in one place and we can cut that learning curve so it's not taking years to get there. Now, speaking of masterminds, I have to share this with you and the industry and how it works. So there are masterminds out there, and people will go to masterminds, and they're very valuable. I'm part of several masterminds. However, to look at a mastermind as what is going to be your answer, it should be a supplement, not your answer. And people will pay anywhere from $10,000 up to $100,000 for a mastermind and think that's what's going to bring them their success. And it's a great place to make needed connections, to get awareness, and when you can, get thrown a little bit of breadcrumbs, maybe get some interconnected support, and you love the community that gets supported. But as far as what's really going to move you forward in your business, the mastermind isn't enough. You need more than the mastermind, all right? And then people will go do VIP days. They go, okay, let's do a VIP day. How about that? And then they spend tens of thousands of dollars or $10,000, whatever that particular person is charging for a VIP day. And really, it's a day or half day, and they're getting something mapped out for them, and now they have to go off and do it. And then they've spent so much money to even be able to have the investment to implement. No less, now that you're implementing, there's plenty more questions and so much more to do. And it's only the slightest little piece of the puzzle. And then you want to get that clarity and you want to get that strategy and that plan. But, in that VIP day, you're paying thousands to get it laid out. And now you got to figure out the best way to market it. And then you pay thousands to produce the various videos, sites, and media that you need to promote it, and to build your list and your platform, and then to market it. But that can take years, and so much spinning of your wheels, and it's super costly, and it burns you out. Have you been there at all? And any little bit? I imagine so. And you know what? Kudos to you, because that means you're hanging in there and you're doing what it takes. But it is a common problem. And I've been in this industry almost 2 decades now. And unbelievable what we see. And that is why I do Launch You Now, because I want the efficient solution that brings together all those little pieces in the right way that we know works and gets to elevate you and launch you. It's kind of like, you could say, a business in a box, except that's the running inefficient there. That's the business in the box right there. It's one and done, and now you're freed, and you're not following some template. It's not just from the surface, but your true, authentic brand, and following the way you want to be leading your business, what you want to create. I also happen to have a wildly creative, solution-oriented mind. I love using my mind. I know I can see the missing pieces. I know how to connect the dots. And I have a deep empathy, too, so that together it creates the unique ability to draw out your essence, hear what is calling to you in your heart or present for you in your business and experience, and then connect the dots so that I'm able to make sense of any of the mishmash and translate it into a cohesive brand that resonates powerfully with who you would be in your target market. I treat each client with love and care and dive inside your world, giving all that I have. I am driven by service. I have to see you succeed. I have to make sure it's what's right for you. And I, maybe to a fault, I have to work on my perfectionism a little bit, but I do not force you into some template. I am about what's going to be spot on for you. No template, but what's going to turn you into a superhero. Yeah, high five. Oops, look, I lost my hand. High five, girl. Wait, which way? There she goes. There we go. Okay, high five. Yeah. So we meet you where you are. And then where is it that you want to be? So think about that for yourself right now. All right. So where are you right now? Is it that you have that seed of an idea, but you need to decide the brand name or get the messaging right, which is a huge one for people? I know I do brilliant work, but I don't know how to tell people about it, or articulate it, or how to market it properly so people get it, right? You want to get the strategy of your business, how you're going to get the clients to come to you, and how you're going to convert them from building your list to then in becoming part of whatever that is that you offer, right? The monetization strategy, the systems set up, the products built to sell and to promote, to get propelled and positioned as an expert, to cut that learning curve and growth by years. So maybe that's you. Or maybe you've had what you've worked on, but only gotten so far. It's time for a regrouping, right? You want to tweak the messaging and tweak the branding and the offering because you've been working at it and it's just been stalled. It's not getting where you want. You want to get that video product to position you and get the SEO elevated in the searches and be the undeniable expert. You want to have those videos do the sales for you so you don't have to work so hard. You want the strategy to kick things into gear or up level what you offer so you now get to the head of the pack, right? Now, maybe what you are is you're an executive or you're in a corporate job. You want to transition into your own business. And maybe you know what that business is or you want to find out what that is. And any place of that sorting out process, we meet you where you are and we rock it with you, just as we have with our clients. Now, another possibility is you could have celebrity status. Maybe you have a big following or you're well known in some way and you want to leverage that following and monetize your already existing fans and followers whom you love. So what is that for you? Think about that. And there's a wide range we serve. So see if you relate to any of this, and where you want to be, okay? So this is a broad, quick little montage of just some of my clients here. And I'll see if I can, I can't really put my mouse over there, but I'll just run through it there. Up there we see an attorney, and he was a best-selling author. After we worked with him, he released his book and tons of media and more clients. And we really positioned what he was about and created that trust factor with his videos. So that attorney, so that's a service-based business, right? Or a financial professional. Maybe that's you. And maybe you want a whole business system set up now for funneling clients, establishing expertise and booking speaking gigs. And that's what we did for one of our clients you see in here. Philanthropist. She didn't want money. She wanted to be expert positioning because she was doing great, but she too needed to get out there at a certain level. And this got to put her in this, and also to clear out the noise, to make it very clear what she was about because she was all over the place with all that she could deliver. A coach. Carrie, and you're going to hear more about her. And I'm sure there's coaches all over the map for just about every arena of life. So a coach in some capacity, right? Is that you? An author. You've written a book. Either it's around your business or a book that came from your heart, but now you want to get that out there to the world. You want to share it. It's your baby, and you want it to get out there in the world, and you also want to make a living at it, so you want it to monetize. Could that be you? A corporate transition. One of our clients here, and you're going to hear a little bit more about her later. For 5 years, she had this idea in her head of what type of coaching program and book she wanted to do, but was stuck in her job, and it lived as a dream for 5 years. And finally, in working with her, what we were able to do, and you're going to hear the story, and you're going to see her video that will just make you smile. It's so fun. So maybe you're a stay-at-home mom, and we had worked with a full stay-at-home mom who had this wonderful process she'd come up with, and her husband was a blue-collar worker, and then by working with us, what we got to create for her, and you'll hear more about her as well, she became a full-time earner for the household, so her husband could leave his job and she could be the full-time earner, stay at home with her 2 little babies, and even is now certifying people in her process now. So could that be you? A top female auctioneer. Probably not you, because there's not many in the world. But we served top female auctioneer, and I'll take myself out of here so you can see. 1 second here. There we go. That's Karen right there where I was. And we strategically crafted what we presented for her. And as a result, within 24 hours of this one messaged calling card video, we call it, which you'll learn more about, she got a speaking gig for $5,000, full fee for her at the time, within 24 hours right away, and got offered for a TV show, which I just think is amazing. I mean, it did the work for her, right? So again, keep thinking, where does it resonate with you, and where would you like to be too as you hear these kind of things? Speakers. Oh, I love working with speakers because I am one myself, and some of my best and biggest friends are in the industry, and so I especially understand speakers and how that works. But even if I don't understand your industry, I'm able to do what needs to happen because you just know how to connect the dots to make it work. Now, speakers, and we're going to share an amazing story about DW up there on the upper left of your screen and what we were able to do for him. And consultants right there in the middle, that was the logo that we came up for our one client there. And so he was a business consultant, and that might be you. Or a celebrity, like we said, or small business. Recently, right now, I'm working with a business it's a healthy ice cream brand. And it's really fun working with a small business in this way. Because again, all these pieces apply. You just make it work for what it is that applies to you, and then put it out there in today's world of marketing and online presence and media. And then you're going to fall in love with Arsen. And Arsen in here, he's 81 years young and proof that it's never too late. And he's the ageless ambassador. And what opened up for him out of what we did for him with Launching Now will astound you. And even a government official who turned into a consultant and what was able to open up for her. So let's just see some examples right now, shall we? This is again is what we all do for you. So we get to get that whole done for you of your branding strategy, messaging, building your offers, monetization, media and bookings plan, undeniable social media presence. Now this is DW, and as you can see, you can't really see too well, but this is his before. And that whole bunch of writing there was his SIG file in his emails. And his website looked very much like that. And now look at him at that picture, and there he is, kind of like a doctor, right? Now when you look at him, what do you think? What is he? What's he do? You probably think he's a doctor of some sort. Well, no. He's actually a brilliant business consultant. But he was thinking as a speaker, he had to come up with something unique so he could stand out. And he thought he'll be a doctor treating disorders in business. And let's treat the DUMAR disorder. And DUMAR stands for downsizing, upsizing, merging, and whatever else that he had it stand for. But can you imagine? It felt gimmicky. It made you not even necessarily trust that he had the smarts that it would take to truly lead a company to go to 100 million or a billion or beyond. And yet he was the top sales earner, millions a year that he would earn for this company as a business consultant. So we got to work with him and got to say, what's your real story? And still keep his personality and all that he is about. But so I'm going to show you now a before and after, and you're going to see the huge difference it makes and why this is so important.
Hi, I'm DW Star, and I'm the Change Doctor, and we're here at the NSA convention.
That's the before.
In Washington, D.C. And what I do is I diagnose and treat employees who work for sick companies. And those companies have DUMAR disease, downsizing, upsizing, merging, acquisitions, and rebranding. And those patients that I diagnose, those employees, what happens is they have changed.
Let's see the after, shall we? After we got to rebrand, remessage, and professionally presented. Here we go.
Did you know that 40% of the Fortune 500 companies that were around 10 years ago are no longer here? In today's rapidly changing world, that means if you're not changing, you're falling behind. Okay, you might.
Yes! What a transformation, right? Now in that second video, it looks like he's like featured video on Business Insider. And he gets right to the point up top with that messaging, and he's professionally presented. Just stark difference. And let's look at the results too. Now he hasn't even finished getting all that we've created and built for him up there yet. He's in process. It's almost launched. 5-star change with 2 R's, by the way. However, he did have that video, at least that second video that you saw there, and a whole slew of other ones that were strategically designed for video product, for a free series to draw people in, expert positioning videos, a whole slew that we crafted and built out his programs. So, but he had that one calling card video, and he showed it to someone. He met someone who was also a speaker on change. He's a change and business growth expert. And he showed that video, and that particular speaker said, "Oh my gosh, that video says exactly what I need to try to communicate to my people. Can I please play your video at the top of every time I go to speak? And can I maybe send it to my companies like Dell and American Express, like these big company names?" And I might be saying different names of different companies, but they're that big, Fortune 100 companies. "And can I send it to them so they can know about you?" He's like, "Yes, you can, please." So that opened up so many doors just from that one thing. Now, it's not just about a video. It's about everything it took to get that full correct strategy and messaging and crafting it just right and presenting it right and having everything in place. And that's the brilliance of what happens, and that's the brilliance of what we do and will do for you if that's what you're interested in. Now next, let's share the story, and I love this woman, of Gloria S. Chan. Now Gloria S. Chan came with, she was a government official, and you'll see in the video, she says a little bit about it up top. But she wanted to play in a lot of different arenas, and she didn't know how to make one way to tie it all in together. So she had been in the Pan-Asian Pacific, I'm not even saying it right exactly, and worked with Obama and headed up, just amazing her experience, and different types of leaders in nonprofit and universities and all those different sectors. And so we said, let's just find what is that common thread. And we realized that her common thread was that she knew how to make sure the leadership had high impact. That's what we were able to pull out of her and be able to zero in on that. So we then branded her High Impact Leadership. And impact became an acronym, in fact, and was able to sort all her expertise and knowledge into a way that IMPACT 6 pillars, if you will, or 6 elements, these factors that together would create the high impact leadership. And these were these principles that she would bring no matter what sector she addressed. And so here's her video, and you get to see it come to life now.
Hi, I'm Gloria S. Chan, High Impact Leadership Consultant, Harvard Law graduate, and creator of the Impact Principle. And in my years of serving in Congress as the Executive Director of the Asian Pacific American Caucus, and later as the head and turnaround expert of a major nonprofit, I discovered a unique set of challenges that a certain breed of visionary leaders all face. You'll find these leaders in academia, corporations, government, nonprofit, and philanthropy. They share the same consciousness of their power and the awesome responsibility it carries. They could be satisfied with their success and status, but that's not what it's about for them.
Yes, do you see how simple is that? To be able to just get that point across. You got the credibility right away. You got to feel her being accessible as how she spoke on camera. And I coach in camera in studio with you when you're in studio, because that's so important how you connect. And you got to understand that she's bringing this principle that's going to make the difference even if you're in these different sectors. So that branding approach. Now, here's just my favorite to share. And that is this arson, which I was telling you about. And he is 81 years young. And when he came to me, he was 77 at the time, so that was 4 years ago. And actually, he was one of my very first clients, and he's also one of my favorite stories to share. And I've known him, and he's one of the people that was a driving reason I wanted to be doing Launch You Now. Not just my own thing out there in the world, but helping others as well. And that's because I would see him on the seminar circuit for 10 years. He was always showing up saying, hey, but he was just doing the same thing. And I think he was maybe doing a city planning job or insurance, I think he was selling. Who knows? But he wanted to be an expert and to be out there speaking and doing his own thing, but he was not being successful in moving that forward. He was stuck. And he finally came to me and he said, all right, Lynn, here's the deal. It's time to either cash in or check out. That's what he said. And I said, all right, well, let's get you going. And he didn't even have a website up yet. He just knew he wanted to have his own thing. And he said, now I could do it on insurance because I've been doing life insurance for a while. I could do it on healthy chocolate because he was part of a direct marketing company that sold healthy chocolate. He said, or I'm wanting to write this book about an ageless attitude. And so maybe I could do it around. I said, do it on that, because he had this wonderful personality. I said, bring that. And people can access you through that. And they'll discover the other aspects that you offer. But let's lead with that, which is what we did. And also I have to say, when he came into studio and in front of the camera, he was trying to be all expert. Hi, I'm Marcin Marsubian, and I talking like that, like an expert. And I'm telling you, if you do that, you're actually pushing people away. There's a paradigm that exists that people feel you have to put that type of specter or coat on, and then you're going to be taken more seriously. And unfortunately, that actually creates a disconnect. And we said, bring that personality to life, especially online, especially in videos, because you all the more need to elevate it in order to make that connection, or people are out of here and gone, or they don't sense it. And so we coached him in studio to make sure that he would have that as well. So I'm going to move over and share with you our wonderful Marcin Marsubian. And after I show you the video, I'm going to tell you the amazing results that happened because of this.
Regardless of your age, you want to be living your life like this or like this. I'm Marcin Marsubian, 77 years young. I've had 5 heart surgeries. I've had bankruptcies. I've had divorce. And I've had a series of really great career changes and successes. And the one thing I've learned is that life is a series of choices. You can either cash in or check out.
I love it. You can either cash in or check out. We had to put that in, of course, right? Oh, isn't he just charming? And don't you get who he is in the first 30 seconds, which is another thing you want to bear in mind, by the way, when you do those videos. Get it up, get that right up top, what that promise is and what you're about, which we did and he did in that first 30 seconds. Now, here's what's great. And this is why this kind of video is what I call a calling card video. And by the way, Launch You Now is not about just videos. We create the videos as the engine for what you are about, what we've mapped out. What way do we need to move this forward? And one of the most effective ways is a calling card video, and then the slew of other videos that we make strategically. This particular one, he was on the golf course. It had just come out. He didn't even have a website yet. He hadn't even finished writing the book, but he was on the golf course and met some friend of a friend. And the guy goes, what do you do? And Marcin says, well, hey, why don't you look at this? And he whipped out his phone and played the video from his phone. And do you know, from just playing that video to that friend of a friend, he got a sponsorship deal and a pre-order of books. It ended up being a pre-order of 100 books. What? He hadn't even finished writing the book yet. And do you know, he's now 81, and now he is already on his 3rd, I think maybe even 4th book. And he's got his own mastermind that he's starting and kicking off with. And he's been on all sorts of media, on Fox News and all around the country on different news shows and morning shows and interview shows. And he's just a delight. So look what is possible when you just connect the dots the right way. Now let's also share with you, this example is Audra, an example of corporate transition into where your heart is. And she wanted to be able to coach and be able to bring her own brand out to the world and not be working for some other company. And so, but she had, as I was saying earlier, swimming around in her head, this idea. And she knew she wanted it somewhat around baggage claim. And she had this idea for a book, but she only had little pieces of paper scattered around through the years and nothing that was solid. And so when she came to us and she was thinking, well, I've got to write the book first before I can then start launching a coaching program or putting myself out there. And we said, no, that's not true. Actually, it could serve your book by already starting moving forward with a program. And easy way that you can deliver it, thanks to certain strategies, depends what strategy is right for you, but there's ways to integrate with Facebook and have things online deliverable, so you can have a program that you're charging for that's so easy to deliver, and yet you can be monetizing almost right away. And as long as obviously you've got all the other elements together. And so we said, why don't you get that program and we'll work with you to map that out and what your branded process is. And we worked with her. We mapped that out. We mapped out what her program is for her claim, baggage claim. So claim, CLAIM, became what her represented her process. And then we formulated her whole entire business and her whole entire brand.
Do you feel weighed down in your life and work? Dragging through your days instead of excited and passionate? All because you're carrying around a bunch of baggage you probably don't even know about. It's all in there. Every time you got gonged, meaning every rejection, every disappointment, every humiliation, everything that didn't work out for you, it's all part of the programming that saps your strength and keeps you playing it safe and not going for the things that you want in life. It's time to finally claim that baggage so you can drop it at the curb and claim the life you deserve. Hi, I'm Audra.
Yay! Isn't that awesome? It keeps you engaged too, right? Which is a really important thing to remember when you do your videos, to find a way to be entertaining, capture their attention, asking with a really brilliant question or something that's going to speak right to them in the beginning, have something that gets the curiosity going. It covers all of that. And of course, her personality is awesome, just incredible. So, we created a whole suite of videos and expertise and video product for her and the whole strategy laid out. And she had just that little video right there, just that one, the main calling card one, and a connection. And she got swooped up by the Tony Robbins coaching organization, and she became one of their leading coaches. And now she's getting ready to come back and really do actually her own brand. So she was all ready to go with her own brand, and then Tony Robbins swooped her up. And it's been great for her, a wonderful experience, a great actually entree now in her own thing. And boy, is she ready to go. But isn't that awesome? And that video helped communicate what she's about, which led to this wonderful experience that she's been having now for so long. So that is Audra. Now, if you're already thinking, okay, I want to know what I can do, I want to be able to have that for me, then let me, that's Sandra. Then let me give you a way that you can do this and be able to see what's possible for you. So I am normally $500 an hour. I'm actually even going up on what my rate is, but you can have a one-time one-on-one session with me at a discount, a paid strategy session, and we'll dive inside what it is you want. And in that hour, come up with whatever strategy, whatever coaching, whatever way in the messaging. And if you want to explore being part of Launch You Now and having that for you, we'll explore that. You would let me know one way or the other. And if so, and you decide you want to have Launch You Now, then what I will do is apply that paid strategy session to the Launching Out package, whether that's the VIP package or whatever way, we would customize that would work for you. And so I want to make that available here in the middle of the video. Probably have about 20 minutes, 30 minutes max to go. But right now, if you know that's already speaking to you, I want to at least make this available to you so you know where to go. You would go to readyaimsuccess.com, and you would use the coupon code ICF, all caps, ICF. And you could say, I can fly. That's what you can let ICF mean, right? Or whatever you want to mean. I cultivate freedom, whatever ICF would stand for you. But use that code, and then you're going to get some, I don't know what the percentage is, but instead of 500 for the hour, it would be 297. That's it. And I'm telling you, let me just show you what some folks that have taken the strategy session, what they wrote here. I don't know if you can see it. I'll read it for you. But they said in that 1 hour, in fact, I love the one from the chef here. She was so looking for her business to be able to expand that business, to get it out there. And she said, God, in that hour with you, I got so much more than these marketing companies I've been paying thousands of dollars to. and same here over here with Marianne Douglas and what she posted there. And I think it's because I have that way of being able to, with a creative mind and understand the entertainment piece and knowing the different ways of marketing, being able to find those creative solutions that's going to be right for you. So I'd love to do that for you if that speaks to you. And if Launch You Now is speaking to you, then I really recommend you book one of those one time only strategy session, and we'll meet for an hour and dive inside your business or inside your vision, even if it's a spark of an idea, and I'll give you a whole slew of ideas and of plan, strategy, coaching, messaging, whatever that might be. And then if that's something that you would want to actually do, Launch You Now, we can discuss it at that time as well. Get that booked and move forward and have you be one of the Launch You Now superstars. Awesome. Well, let's keep going because I want to share these examples. You can see what resonates for you, what works for you, and hopefully you're also even learning while you watch and seeing, what type of approach you would want to do for yourself. So next I'm going to share with you also someone who's one of my first clients, and amazing results that she had. And she is such a beautiful soul, and she is a holistic coach. And I'm going to tell you her after you see the before and after, okay? But she is a classic example of someone who had her own business, been out there as a coach, trying to survive, trying to get by, but barely getting by and struggling year after year. And she just was wanting to get high-end clients. She wanted to have abundance. She wanted people to get that, yes, she's going to be a holistic coach, but there's so much more than just that. How can people justify, the cost? How can people understand the value that she brings? And so when she came, we worked with her. But I'm going to show you the before, and then I'll tell you what we worked on with her, and then I'll show you the after, and then I'll tell you the awesome results. So let's go see Carrie, and this is the before.
Hi there, I'm Carrie Tepedino, your personal holistic health strategist and connoisseur. I'm so excited that you're here with me today, ready to discover this opportunity.
Okay, I'm going to just go ahead and stop that right now because already the audio is, it just grates on the ears, and it grates on the eyes because the sun is so in her eyes, and she's not really saying anything that's bringing you in for what's possible for you yet. I mean, she's kind of saying who she is or what she does, but you don't quite get it, right? And she's certainly not positioned that she's high end, or she's certainly not positioned for media, because that's, a homemade do-it-yourself video. And those are great, by the way, to do videos on the fly and get those out there, those raw, real videos. Awesome. You want a lot of those because it makes you more real. It has people recognize that you're accessible. But for the positioning videos, for the videos that are going to place you with that credibility and that you are media ready, that you are ready to handle the high-end clients, you need to have that professional video that just nails it. And so this calling card video And that's all we did for Carrie. We didn't do the whole VIP, everything else. But but in order to get to this point, we had to dive inside her world, dive inside what is that unique differentiator about Carrie? What makes her special? What is it that worked for her? And we realized that she doesn't just tell you what to eat and how to exercise and when that's going to be right for you. She also deals with that toxic conversation that goes on in your head and how you can navigate that so that you can do the things you know you're supposed to and really, be able to change your life that way, right? So I'm going to now play her after, and then I'm going to tell you the amazing story that happened because of this one video, which she still uses to this day, almost 4 years later.
Hi, I'm Carrie Tipidino. Did you know that it's not you, but actually the conversation you have going on in your head that's controlling your weight and your health? How would it feel to eliminate that toxic conversation forever while dropping excess weight and getting into the best shape of your life? And what if it could actually be fun and easy?
Yay! Isn't she great? And then what a stark difference, right? Now, she's the same person, the same approach in her coaching, but now she had something that captured what she's about, that translates. As soon as you see it, within the first 30 seconds, you get what's in it for you, what's possible. You get her. You also feel a natural sense of, oh, I trust her. Oh, she's playing a big game, or she's, maybe higher up in the level that she plays because of the professionalism of the video. And she's personable and everything. Well, because with this video and the way that it got nailed in their messaging and how she was presented and positioned, she ended up filling up her coaching program right away. And it used to take her forever, could never get it filled up. And as soon as she released this video, her coaching program got filled up. And within 2 months, she was off to Mexico on a vacation, and she had, I don't know if it was never taken a vacation, but she hadn't taken a vacation Lord knows how long because she couldn't afford it. And now she could. She had that abundance. She got high-end clients. The Chopra Center called her and wanted her to be able to work with their high-end clientele. And she got asked to be seen for potentially getting booked as a host of a fitness program. She'd never done TV before. Thousands and thousands were sifted through, and she was selected to be seen for that. And it was out of nowhere. So the value and the power of having this kind of calling card video that is strategic and messaged is priceless. And like I said, she's even changed her branding colors and approach, but she still uses this video because it's gold. It's a driver. It's an engine. So I want you to think about that for you. All right, now I'm going to show you a video that actually demonstrates about how you connect on camera. Because I come from, initially, before I even did Launch You Now, I did coaching for over 10 years around the inside-out approach to speaking. How you connect to camera, how you connect to audiences, how you have that presence, how you come alive. And I was able to work miracles with people. And I still do only just a little bit of private coaching here and there, just for some high-end clients as they need. But I had these 2.5-day workshops that I did and got to coach and make people come to life, right? So I get to translate that same approach of how you get to come to life when you speak or in front of camera to the people I work with Launch You Now. Now, this gal I'm about to show you, it was actually me coaching. It wasn't about me doing Launch You Now. Oh, I've lost my little headphone. Here we go. Okay. But you'll see. Now, Carrie, what you just saw was an example really of do it yourself, but do it yourself cheaply and you get cheap results. Well, what you're about to see is where it was do it yourself and was do it yourself expensively. Like this lovely gal, and she really was lovely, spent thousands to go in the studio. And unfortunately, this was her results. I'm going to show you the before, and then I'll show you the after her. So one moment. Here we go.
To make it saleable. Banks and lending institutions choose me to sell their REO properties because I have an excellent reputation with asset managers, real estate agents, and contractors. I have enough stress getting rid of these properties. Contact me today so I can be your solution.
Oh my God! That's how she ended the video, no less. There wasn't even a call to action. I mean, there wasn't like, here comes the number and here's the site, but also nothing that was inviting. It was kind of like, she's pissed. And I think it was just because she had a fear of speaking, and so I have compassion for that. But it translated in that way, which is actually repelling as opposed to magnetizing. And so that's why then I was hired to coach her so that she could come to life in studio. So don't look at it from the video standpoint, but look at it more from the absolute drastic change in how she came to life. And this happened within one session in the studio, and why this is so important. And when you do your videos, you too want to make sure you come to life. You want to make sure you have a smile. You want to make sure you have energy. And I worked with her to get that out. And that's what I do in Launch You Now. Arson was that same way. He was that expert quote, and I had to bring out his personality. And what a difference it made, right? So here we go. This is now Sean after. Let me get there. Here we go.
Hi, I'm Sean Cox. I have 23 years experience selling real estate. I'm a third-generation realtor. I love real estate. So if you want the results I can provide for you, contact me and I'll get right back to you. I can get your property sold.
Yay! Just amazing, drastic difference, right? And obviously she could have more to go if we could have more time to draw out to even, finesse here and there, but massive difference. And now it's inviting. Now you feel her personality. And that's really important. And that shows, the do-it-yourself expensively, So that's another reason why it's like getting to have that whole solution in one place. Why I'm driven with Launch You Now. So, and I want to now share with you another client here. And this illustrates, I feel, about how you can do this anywhere in the world. You don't have to be in studio with me. I have coached via Skype. And we've mapped out everything. This beautiful lady, what an amazing story. She was headed up a Fortune 500 company, actually, and then went to go be a stay-at-home mom so that she could raise her family. And then once her kids were about 5 and 7, around those ages, she was like, itching to do her own thing again. So she hired me and Launch You Now, and we built out a whole brand. We ended up calling it Thriving Moms. That's what we landed on, or I landed on with her and for her. Because again, I don't try to force you into a template. And I don't try to tell you or impose myself onto you. I dive inside, what is it with you? And then bring that out, and then it's like that answer comes. And if it's not resonant with you, then we'll go somewhere else. But that one was perfect for her market and for who she is, because she was wanting to thrive, even though you're still being at home, but being able to find your ways that you have a thriving family without getting burnt out, and bring that corporate mindset to how you run your home. And so anywhere around the world. She was in Hong Kong, and I was in LA, and there she is on my computer. Isn't that fun? And you can see kind of in the background, looking at the boats in the back where I live. But right there is looking on the computer, coaching her while she's in Hong Kong in the studio. So that's possible too. So anywhere in the world. I've had done that for clients in Australia and in the Netherlands. And if that's you, somewhere around the world, that could be the case for you too. All right. So hopefully by now you're already getting a sense of all that we do. So I'm going to run through this quickly just to sum up again how we do what we do and what we do. So we get the branding process. Depends who you are. It can become your signature program. You might already have your brand, and maybe there's ways we can tweak it or bring other things about it to life. And we could look for a special way we frame what you do so it makes the best choice within how we describe your work. Now with Gloria, if you remember our beautiful Gloria here, that was where she had all these different sectors that she served and what could be the common thread so she wouldn't look like she was scattered all over the place. And we had the commonality of the principles of of high impact leadership, and that became her branding. So we do that branding. Now another example is this gentleman who has captured my heart. He is a former Hollywood studio exec, big time, big. And then had his own journey through recovering cancer and other aspects, and he turned into like a compassionate care champion and customer service expert, actually. And then he came to me because he wanted to elevate his brand. He didn't really know how is he going to translate this into the speaking world and be able to market himself, and what can he do to create so that, you know, it gets out there to the world. Now he has at his fingertips all sorts of video people that he could use, and probably had them do it for him for free. And certainly at just like, you know, the Hollywood TV shows and movies. But he knew he needed to have what's going to be crafted and strategic in the whole plan and support as well. And in listening to him talk about his story and compassionate care, I said, we must come up with a branded process so that you can take that and make that a program that you'll license to these hospitals and companies, but also really have you stand out, have it be memorable, not just your story, which is remarkable, and he's a fantastic speaker, but also have this branded process. It's yours. And I came up with the CARE effect, CARE, and these 4 different elements that comprise, it's what creates the experience of compassionate care. And so I worked with him on how to weave that in within his speech. And he said the feedback that he's had as he's been out there, he says, is it normal to get standing ovations every time you speak? I'm like, no, not really. And he's already had people wanting his CARE Effect program, which is basically the way we've done it for him, is to have a weekly audio that the nurses or doctors can listen to on the run, or while they're in the car driving or walking to their work, that then has them get anchored back into that principle and that time that they experience. That's so impactful as he shares his story and how important compassionate care and why that makes the difference. And so now he's got all these opportunities exploding open for him, and also to license the CARE Effect in bulk with these different companies and hospitals and foundations. And that's going to be awesome for monetization. But to me, what I think is extra special, and I was feeling this yesterday, while I was talking with Lee, and I just started realizing, oh my gosh, because he was sharing with me some feedback he got from some people and how they remember the CARE Effect and how great he is and the story and the CARE Effect. And I was thinking, wow, man, he's going to help really, truly transform the healthcare industry because of getting this out there in this way. And it just felt so good to be part of the ripple effect. And so it's important for you too to think, what is maybe something you're not seeing, or something that you could do that would help leverage or monetize or expand your impact. And that's what we did here. And that's part of that branding piece. And if you do our top tier VIP package, that's where we also create your full branding, the site, the logo, the look, the feel, the business cards, the media kit. Just came into alliance with the gal who's done my branding of my site and cards, and she is, and all the top leaders in our business growth industry. And then, of course, the messaging, which is huge. It makes the biggest difference, and it's where so many get stuck, right? And perhaps you've been one of them. It happens to all of us, because when we're inside the jar, we can't see the outside of the label. But it's so important to know, what is your unique differentiator? What is most compelling to your target audience? What nails down why you or your business is the number one choice for them and moves them into action? And we get all of this figured out for you once and for all. And you know exactly how to say what you do, who you are, and why to work with you, how you serve. And then they can make their decision compellingly and easy. And the great part is you can use your messaging that we arduously figure out with and for you in your other marketing materials, on a page in your site, or within your elevator speech, social media, etc. And Carrie Tepedino is a great example. That messaging piece, and then of course all the other elements we brought together with it, it shifted everything. So obviously that's what branding and messaging. Now, there's Carrie. Hello, Carrie. And then strategy. No, this is key. And it's where we look at how we can monetize right away and also in the long term, what's going to make sense, how you can build your list, build your brand. And it's what we create so that automatically this path that we're building has monetization in place, even if it's for down the road, but to know that you have all of that in place. How you get to reach people, what's the marketing strategy, all of those parts of strategy. And it's so important to not just create your brand and get you set up and launched, but to understand how you will get set up so you will keep a pipeline going of clients and leads and feed into your business in a way that serves your target market and is undeniable to them. We make sure everything ties in together with what you're about, what you want, and what we create. So when you see that clear path, it gets so exciting and invigorating and motivating. You can create the sky, but unless you have a clear path that makes sense and helps you convert, you may be sitting there with nothing happening otherwise. But once you have this high-end business fully fleshed out, you even experience yourself differently with more confidence because of that clarity. And you have a plan that makes sense for you. Now, an example would be, how do you think DW feels, right? Now, how do you think he experiences himself before, that's his before, versus now? Professional. Now it's translating that brilliance that's been there all along, but it just needed to know how to make that click, how to connect. All right. Now, we also map out your products and your offerings. So you might already have that. But sometimes you have an idea or you know that you could expand further, and we help you map that out and get that ready for you. And if need be, even creating then the video product to go with that. All right. And I also includes your branded signature program or process. Now the signature process, as an example, I mentioned a little bit earlier, Joanna Ashley here, the stay-at-home mom, and she had this process, healing process she'd come upon for herself and friends, and she wanted to take it out there to the world. But she was just a stay-at-home mom and didn't quite know what to do. And we worked with her to, map out how she would deliver that process, that video that communicated what it was about. And she wrote this. Oh, let's see which way I can get myself out of here so you can see it. But she wrote this email. This is literally taken right off the email because she was so happy to the point of crying, because now her husband, who's a blue-collar worker, could get to the point of by the end of the year to leave his job and be able to stay at home with her and be with the kids. And she has this process that gets to make a difference for so many people and is now, and this is what I think is really key, is now certifying people in her process. She started certifying people in her process, I mean, with less than a year that she came out with it. And we're certifying people at about 6,000 a piece, that I would say would be monetizing. And that's exciting. So that was another example there. And your list building strategy and your sales funnel, so important. And so we tie all that in together too. Everything has to play together and get that figured out. All right, so do you see all that? Oh my gosh. That's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Do you ever just feel like sometimes you just want to tear your hair out? And then you hear conflicting ideas, and then it's, I gotta go over here, but I gotta go over there, but I gotta do this. And how are you gonna do it all while you're still trying to also run your business or pay the bills and build a business, right? That is why we do what we do. Get it one and done and your way. Not some cookie cutter, and not people who just kind of take you and whatever's going to work on a surface level, but truly what it is right for you, right? Otherwise it gets exhausting and those years bleed on by otherwise. All right. So done for you, as you can see all there. And that's the big issue, is that it's never getting done, or it's not getting done right. And you want to create the engine that will then drive all this. So we build and map out all the strategy, the branding, the messaging, the products, the offerings, and now it's time to get it done. And so then we take what we've mapped out and strategized and clarity and all that we've come to, and now translate that into the engine that's going to drive it forward through those videos. And it's like everything else we mentioned before, the masterminds, the VIP days, the coaching. It helps get figured out what to do, but then you still have to do it. Now we'll create the media, and we'll also connect to the resources to get other aspects that you need implemented, whatever systems. So the ideas of what we produce to follow through on what we map together for you and launch you now. So from there, then the videos. Here are some examples of videos that would be created as the engine once we map all that out. Now, I see you're not seeing this, so let me come back. A lot we're trying to manage here. Speaking of managing, the calling card video. Obviously, you've heard me talk about that throughout here. Does the work for you, sends them to the call to action, establishes expertise, demonstrates the higher level you're positioned, magnetizes media. Oh my goodness. All my clients, I mean, it just acts as a media magnet. Speaking bookings. Now you're positioned for speaking bookings and higher end clients. Okay. Another video example, video insights. And these are these little, you can even call them video nuggets. And they are great for SEO to get propagated. I'm not saying that right, am I? Propagated out there in social media and online. And they're great for positioning you as the expert and for the credibility and the trust building. I'll give you a quick little example. This is our lawyer here of what a video insight looks like, okay?
I've been a lawyer for over 25 years. And prior to the year 2000, I mostly handled all kinds of civil litigation, very complex civil litigation. So making the transition, all I had to do was...
Okay, so we see. I mean, I'd love to have you see more. I really would. But for time's sake, we'll move forward. But you can get how now I see him in the studio setting because he's a Hollywood entertainment lawyer. Represents kids actually and adults, but he has a very specialty in kids, and you can feel him talking and getting to understand. It's almost like lifting the veil and getting behind the scenes with him and getting inside his expertise. So he became a #1 best-selling author and certainly boosted his business and on media everywhere. So you can imagine. Now, we also, in creating videos, a video series or in-depth training. And sometimes that can be a free video series that will then lead to paid work or a paid series. Now for me, and this is an example I'll show you, I have, when they opt in, they get a free video series on the Speak formula. And it's like the 5-part series. It's all free. But they're eventually led, if they want, to then invest in the WOW online program. It's evergreen. It's online. It just sits there and someone wants the program, they go and buy it. So it's making money while you sleep, but really it's serving people while you sleep, right? And so they get to understand what I'm about. They get to see, is that resonant with them or not, through this free video series that then leads them to the paid and even bigger and higher paid work, and has them feel even more connected to you. So it's great for that. And either that's right for you or not, and we can create that, or create the actual video product like my WOW series that I sell online. It's a whole series of videos covering the different aspects of the speaking from the inside out. So that's what that's about. So you can see a little example video series. Hi, I'm Lynn Rose. I've known this Oh my goodness! That looked like that was not in. What do you call it? Not in sync. What's that word again? Sync. Anyway. Yep. So, and I was a bit heavier then. Isn't that interesting? But I just wanted to share that part of you because that's a really important aspect to build out and makes all the difference in the planet. Okay, next is, we're right there. Next is, we also get your sales video. So what video is going to then sell the product that you're selling or whatever that you might be selling? So we also create sales videos if that's what's needed for you, or maybe an aspect of your business for sale. So, and then we will do the Meet You videos. And these are the kind of videos where you are just talking behind the scenes. I kind of interview you documentary style. And you just talk off camera, and it's almost like a little mini documentary about you. And so people get to dive inside your world, understand you, and it creates trust. It creates authenticity. It has you cover other aspects that wouldn't necessarily get covered in a scripted video or something like that. And it also gets to be wonderful in your online media kit, great for media, great for continuing to position you, and for SEO. So it covers all that you want your video product to do. I'm giving you an example of what is it that's appropriate for you, and then let's go create it. All right. And what's driving forward the strategy and the messaging and everything else that we've mapped out for that purpose. Just in case, here's some facts for you. Okay. Prospects are 72% more likely to buy a product or service when video is used, and they make their buying decisions faster, from Wharton School of Business, as you can see. So, all right. Now we also, as part of the package, because we have to give you everything that you need. We get the professional photos while you're in studio. Right here, I just showed some of me and Bob. To give you an example, though, there's Bob and I and our show, and then we put a background behind us and an overlay in front, and now we've got promo for our little internet show that we do. And then there you see Sue Gardner pointing. She's the client, and Dina Proctor, because we also do your media kit. And the media kit is, the press are so busy, they just want to know one place they go. It's got everything they need. The interview questions, the speaking topics, all your photos and videos and bios and what you're about. They just want it all in one place. And especially if you're going to do interviews or JV opportunities, the online media kit is brilliant to have. And we create that for you as well. Now with Dina Proctor, she was an early client as well, and now is a dear friend. I love her so much. And we worked with her on some strategy, made some key connections, which is also what I do. I happen to be very lucky to be very connected, and I made a connection with her with Mind Valley, and they have probably about 2 million on their list, maybe more now. And they had an audio distribution app. And so I encouraged her to take her 3x3 concept. She thinks her concept is to do 3 minutes of meditation 3 times a day. And I said, as a strategy, create guided meditations. I know it's one thing to tell them in your book, and her book became New York Times #1 bestseller. Yay! But also, why don't you create another way to monetize? Create these little meditations. I'll make this connection to Mind Valley, but other places as well. You can sell them as part of your brand and build up a whole library of them, and on all sorts of different topics. And of course, now she has an endless library. She's out there everywhere. She became the #1 audio there on Mind Valley for a while, and certainly monetized that. So that's powerful. So if you look at it, it's like what we do for you would equal VIP day and mastermind and training programs and video studios all combined. Plus, we create it and get it done for you. So you would get it one and done, and no more spinning wheels, right? Now we can look at price comparisons, because I mentioned earlier, someone in the industry, I had clients come to me and they were so upset because they had invested $50,000 in a certain company, promised to do a whole done for you broad scope. But they were not showing up. They were not delivering. They weren't even caring to truly get inside what was right for them. They're approaching them more like a template approach. And so they had to leave them. You know, I do it at a fraction of that cost. If you were to try to do all of what we have here, over there, on its own, it would, the cost would just be, you can't even begin to calculate. And then the years or the amount of time that it would take, it then is just time ticking away. That's not having you actually be out there now. And that's what it's like, get you out there now, and with attention and hands-on care, specially and specifically designed around you. What most folks don't realize is that you might think about, oh, I don't know if I can afford XYZ, or I don't know if I want to put money out that way. But what you don't realize is you are bleeding money. You're putting 500 there, or 1,000 there, or 3,000 there, and then doing a little piecemeal. And then so all this time goes by, but also eventually all these little dollars are leaked out, and dollars not making that you could be making if you would just have it done and be out there. So it's a shift in how you think about it and to understand. I remember when I heard someone bring that up about the little bleeding of money, I realized, oh my goodness, I had been doing that, and it shifted how I invest in myself and my business completely. And it has completely shifted for me in my business as a result. So I don't even need to harp on, I'm sure you already get, the problem that it solves. So you don't have to be overwhelmed or frustrated or drained on trying to figure it out and market when you really need to be doing what you do best and to have it translate. And that feeling of confidence and joy and on fire and knowing you're making the impact and making your living from what you love, it's amazing. All right, so instead of swimming in your head for years, it can finally come to life and you reap the results, right? You potentially make back your ROI within months and be off and running in your dream direction. Now, I want to share with you bonus. Okay, so let's say you may already have your site, be happy with it and all of that, and that's great. You may already have your branding. Again, we still go inside there and get you what you need to go to that next level. But let's say you want to now really get your site at that highest level, and you want to get that logo and the business card, the one sheet, the stationery, and have that brand design all coming together. Gosh, that's going to cost you a lot of money. Well, with our package, I have an alliance with the gal who's done my branding. And because I would have done so much of that work already in figuring out the branding part of it and the messaging part of it, she does it at a fraction of the cost that she normally would. And you can then get your full website and branding package add-on, as you see there. And there's an example of some of her work. Let me take me out of it so you can see it. It's just lovely, lovely work that she does there, from the websites to the banners. Those are my cards there, but you see the other experts that she's done there. And we'll go through that one by one. We get a little closer. All right. And it's just, she just makes it come to life. Hi. Hi, I missed you. and she, what I was showing you there, I was kind of feeling a feminine take, but she definitely does the masculine side of design as well. And she did DW Star's logo in here. And this was the very beginning of his video. We made the moving logo, so I'm just playing you 4 seconds here. So you can see why it's important to do it now, right? If not, you'll always feel that nagging feeling, that less confidence. You're leaving thousands of dollars on the table and letting countless opportunities pass you by. I'll tell you, I let countless opportunities pass me by for years. I can't believe, if only I had had my site up properly and the proper materials to illustrate what I could do. I relied purely on referrals. And that's not a way of doing business. It's a great way of doing business, but you don't want to rely on that. In today's world, if you want to make that big impact and reach the people you want to reach, or someone makes a referral, but they didn't see you live, they might trust the person well enough that they'll just hire you unseen. But to be able to have what represents you as a solid business and moves you forward, you get to be that best-selling author, that successful coach, constantly booked speaker, the business with a busy practice, to be an online presence and maybe organize your day the way you want, because you get to make money while you sleep, right? Your life, your well-being, your sense of self and your success and surrounding family are too important to let this slide. So what freedom can you experience when you finally take this on and get it done? And done right. It's freeing. So once you sign up, if this resonates with you, the way it works, next steps is, if this resonates with you and you're like, yes, let's go, then book that paid strategy session and you'll get a one-time discount. I'm normally $500 an hour, so it's only $297, and we will dive inside what you need. And if you know that you want to do Launching Now, we can explore that, and then you can make your decision from there. And then we'll apply what you paid for the strategy session towards Launch You Now. So you would go to readyaimsuccess.com, and then put in the coupon code ICF, which I can fly. You can check that out. And you saw the testimonials earlier. I don't need to play them again. But again, this one session could put on so many light bulbs. It has for everyone I've been able to have a session with, and I would love that for you as well. And I would love to be able to be part of your journey and your flying off and your taking off. Because what's your vision? What lifestyle do you want? So we bear that in mind, right? We go through that process to draw it all out, and then I can connect the dots for you and with you, and making sure it's you. I do that via Skype, like I said, so anywhere in the world, we're able to make that happen for you. And if you do want to come to our studio and it's time to shoot the video product, my studio is here in Marina del Rey, California, on the water. Beautiful. So you'd be invited into my home and my studio. All right. So, I just need to mark that too. So then we meet on Skype, we map out everything that you've heard me talk about, and then we have either where you are shooting in the studio or with us. And then I give it off to my team, and they get your videos produced, the media kit up, and if you did the platinum package, your entire branding with the website and those materials, and you, my friend, are off to the races and just saved yourself boatloads of time, frustration, wasted years, and catapulted yourself to the top. You are ready. And I get to have the added bonus of knowing I got to be the wind beneath your wings. I got to be part of making your stamp on this world. So, whether or not Launch You Now is for you, and especially if it is, perhaps you know someone this could help. I mean, help! Because you heard what I talked about in this industry. So pass on this video to them, explaining what could be possible for them and you. And bonus for you, if they end up signing up one-on-one for one of our done-for-you VIP packages, you'll get a $500 referral. Just tell them to give me your name upon meeting with me. Okay? I think it's a win-win. And also post your questions here, and I'll leave video answers for you as I can, video or text answers as we go along. So post your questions. So right now, breathe for a moment. How much easier will it be to have someone else who's got your back? Proven success. Take care of it all for you. Right? To finally get it done and finally have the clarity, finally have the direction and the plan and the strategy you need for you. To be doing the work you are meant to do on this planet and at the level you want to be playing. It's time. Just remember, whether a seed of an idea or you're rocking it already and you want to go even bigger and broader, you have the power to wow. And I hope I get the joy and honor of launching you now.